All right, another pod, another week, another Wednesday, another upload. PB, thank you for cranking these episodes out. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a new face in the building tonight, sort of acting as a co-host here, bringing in some young blood who we will introduce to you all in just a moment. But Ty and I are in studio. Jack is joining us on Zoom. Caden Irwin is tonight's guest, talking about the series in Maryland between the Magic and the Cobras. So that was the bulk of our discussion. Great video, great series, great interview with Caden. This is the Pipe It Up podcast, and cue the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pipe It Up podcast, the official podcast of MLW Wiffle Ball. Jack and I are joined today by Ty Frenznick of the Western Wildcats. You are in your sophomore season, is that correct?
I am in my sophomore season, yep.
And you've been a podcast at least once?
Yeah.
Maybe twice?
I think twice.
I know you were on after
we
spring
did it once
training.
in here.
In jerseys, we did it.
That might have been the only time I've been on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're only an in-studio
guy. So I guess
guy.
this might, yeah.
Okay.
I do like in the studio. I mean,
It's
can't
the
get
best.
better than this.
It's a little sweaty sometimes, but it is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer's winding down a little bit, which is sad to say, but it'll cool off down here in the fall for sure. But Jack, tell the fans why we have Ty here today. Why do we need this young Padawan next to us?
I mean, look, let's call a spade here. Tommy and I are young, relatively speaking, but not compared to what this league is trending at. So we've got to bring on some guys that are gonna help us, connect with this younger audience, keep us up to date on, what's fresh, what's new, and just keep this podcast youthful.
True.
And I think Ty's a great guy to do that.
That's right. We'll see. We're gonna try Ty out for a little while, see if he likes it,
see
if he's a good fit to speak for the younger generation. But what's cool, Jack, is just like how you and I have relationships with all the OG guys of the league, like Kyle, Daniel, Warda, Russell, like all the Brighton guys who were original members of this league. Ty has those relationships and friendships with a lot of the new guys, such as who are your friends?
Levi, Evan Trackman, Evan Porter, Preston Colm, Trey Flood, all those Bay City guys. RJ, all the young faces in the league.
Yeah, because you guys play
We just always are playing whiffs.
other leagues besides just MLW, right?
Yeah.
Because you have a league that you run. There's a league in Northville that runs that I think you play in too.
Yeah,
we
do. WR's kind of meshed with Northville right now.
And WR stands for?
West Ridge.
That's right.
Brighton,
That's where we
Michigan,
grew up.
where birthplace of MLW.
Nice.
And then Northville is like 35 minutes away from Brighton, where we grew up. And then again, at these tournaments across the country, like you're seeing a lot of the same guys from Bay City, RJ Walgates, you've gotten to know. And so again, Ty just has a much different perspective than Jack and I do, because Jack and I just met these guys and we don't really have like a deep bond friendship with them because they are 10 years younger than us. Whereas Ty has those conversations with them more than we do, because they see eye to eye probably on a whole heck of a lot more stuff, all being in high school together, looking towards their futures. So excited to have Ty on board here. We're going to play a game later talking about just the differences of the world through the lens of 26, 27-year-olds versus 16, 7-year-olds, and maybe that'll be a trend in these next few episodes if you guys are interested in that. But Ty, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No pressure.
Super excited to be
It's
here.
not live. This is edited, so you can say whatever you want in theory, and you won't get in any trouble. You won't be embarrassed. It can be edited. That's what PB is for. But we're just a couple of guys talking about a kids game. Yeah, and that is what it is.
That is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
So with that, I hope you guys all enjoy Ty's presence, and let's jump now to our interview with Caden Irwin. All right, we would now like to welcome on a special guest, Caden Irwin, former Mallard, once a Mallard, always a Mallard, but former Mallard, current Cobra, the Cobras ace who had a stellar performance out in Maryland. Joining us here, Caden. It's good to see you, my man.
Good to see you, Tom, and Jack, and Ty.
It's a big crew tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Big crew. Don't get too overwhelmed.
I know I'm nervous. I'm sweating over here.
Well, I think we'll get you to relax pretty quick. Just imagine, Caden, you're on a nice golf course, sunny day. You got a pitching wedge in your hand. You're 140 in, and it's just a perfect lie. That's how I want you to feel this entire podcast interview.
I like it. I like it.
Perfect. Okay. So first things first. Good series. I want to talk about the whole day, the whole trip. But setting the tone for the day, the pregame lift. Whose idea was that? Was that Drew?
It was Drew and Andy. They were both like, let's just do it. I'm feeling it right now. It was pretty early. So, I mean, we got there, I don't know, probably to the hotel at like noon-ish. Maybe even before that. So, like, we were there early. We had nothing, like planned. We were just trying to like relax. And they were like, oh, let's go to the pool and lift. It's like, okay, sounds good.
The pre-series lift is I feel like it's a high risk, high reward move, because it's like you could kind of get a little bit of extra boost going that might make the difference in the series, but you also that's a long day. Like those out of state series are long days. Obviously, you guys recorded the post game, 1:30 in the morning or whatever it was in the hotel room, which we'll get to that. But I guess outside of the lift, how is Drew like pregame and like the rest of the Cobras? Like, what are their antics like pregame?
It's honestly not as crazy as you would think. We lift. I only walked on the treadmill. I was like, I'm not lifting any weights before I have to pitch. Thank goodness, because I pitched 10 innings on the day, because that first one with RJ took forever. I think it would have went even more. Well, I'm sure that'll be talked about in a little bit. So we did that. Then we went to the pool, and then we went to like go eat something like not crazy. I think we went to Subway. And we just kind of chilled out. And then we got to the field really early, like 3 hours before. And we just sat in the car, like in the AC for like an hour. And then we got out, started getting stuff out. And there was a game being played on the field before we got to play on it. So we watched a little bit of the game too. So
okay,
that's about it. Nothing crazy. Sorry to disappoint.
All right, Caden, when you're out there throwing a gem, how you were doing it against the Magic, the run support just wasn't really there for you. How frustrating is that for you, and how do you deal with it?
I mean, I don't really get frustrated because I've been before not being able to get a hit, and RJ is such a good pitcher. You just know going into it, it's probably going to be about a one-run game. And I mean, I've always had the mentality just to go out there and put my team in the best like spot to win. If it's 0 runs, 1 run, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. Just have 0 in that one. So, and I'm feeling pretty good on the bump, so I'll go for as long as my arm lets me.
There you go.
Well, I was feeling for you, Caden. I mean, not just in this series in that game 1, but I mean, even the entire season, obviously the Cobras offense hasn't supported you a ton, but that was kind of an issue for you on the Mallards as well. So again, I'm feeling for you as a friend. I would love to see the Cobras offense get a little hot, because it seems like we didn't really score for you either back when you were wearing the green, wearing the right colors, I should say. But you pitched great, ended up getting the dub there on the sac fly in game 1, and then you went out there again in game 2 after throwing 7 innings in game 1. Why did you decide to go back to back there?
We've kind of talked about it, I feel like in maybe a post game, I can't remember, but Drew prefers a new ball, and I'm fine throwing a ball that's beat up a little bit. Yeah. So it doesn't bother me to be able to throw back to back either. It's probably not beneficial that they've seen you, for 7 straight innings, but I felt like I was pitching fine. So I felt like I could go 3 more. Hopefully it didn't. I was glad it did not go into extra innings though, again, because that would be awful. But it worked out.
Yeah, I think it's a fine play, like especially because you guys won that first game, going for that series win. You're already warm, you're already hot. You've been playing with that ball. I know hitting the tin can beat the ball up, but it wasn't like that ball was getting like smacked around, so it was probably relatively fine. But that was just a crazy game 1, honestly. Like I got the details like through, text messages, obviously, of what happened. But just watching that as a like with very minimal details, just kind of like the outcome of the game. But just watching you and RJ go back and forth it was very entertaining. And I think you guys are 2 pretty unique pitchers. I think you have a lot of similarities, but is there any, like, I feel like you guys you have a lot of similarities, but you're also, you're different at the same time. And is there a pitcher that you can really compare to RJ in this league? Because I feel like, he's a guy that's he's a unique animal, right? And facing him, he's starting to get into, I'm not going to say like Ryan Cratch territory, but he's getting into like being able to have different sort of arsenals. Like each time you face him, like in different games, he might be going to different pitches. Like I saw him throwing some pitches that I've never really seen him, go to a lot in that series. So I guess long-winded question, but who would be the closest comparison you think to RJ in the league?
I mean, Ryan's probably a good one. I think the way that he deceives hitters is more like Jordan, though. Because Jordan just deceives people. I mean, he throws 3 pitches and no one hits him. So I feel like RJ is like a combo of both. Plus him being so tall, I just that's a big factor too. I mean, he's a good 3.5 inches, 4 inches taller than me. So, and I'm not short by any means. So I feel like that kind of. I feel like it's okay, Tom.
Thanks.
Short kings live.
That's right.
I feel like it's just he's like kind of in a world of his own in that way, just because of his height too. And he's just like a plastic, a plastic wizard, I guess you could call him. Just he's able to like work with anything. Doesn't matter how bad the ball is, like he's able to throw it pretty much consistent every single time. So, but going toe to toe with him is perfect for me. Like I was very honored to be able to, stick with him. I kept telling him after the first game, I'm like, dude, we gotta stop doing this to each other. Like these 1-run games are so stressful. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
Dude, it was the same thing in the playoffs last year, right? I think all of those you guys swept us, but I think both of those were 1-0 games, and it was just you two going back and forth. It was like, all right, who's gonna step up and finally like connect with one? So it does feel like, obviously recency bias, but Magic Cobras have had a lot of fireworks before, like in their all-time history, but the most recent series seemed to be ending up just you and him going back and forth.
Yeah, and like I said, it's an honor to be able to do that with him because he's a good pitcher. One of the best, if not the best right now. I mean, he's up there behind Jordan for sure. Everybody's chasing Jordan right now, but
True.
Agreed.
True.
Another guy that's on the mound who's pretty tall out there would be Johnny Gunn. How was his stuff looking for you guys that day?
It was good.
It did look good.
It was so different was like the thing.
How so?
I mean, I didn't hit a ton. I hit a little bit. Speed was a big thing. Like RJ's flirting with 72. Johnny was like 63 to like 65 for a lot of his stuff. So like, I felt that just threw us off a lot too. And his arm slot's a lot different too. Cause he gets like lower to the ground. He's tall too, but like he squats down farther. So it comes out at a different angle. So
yeah, when he's throwing that riser, he really gets almost on the ground when he throws. I know with how tall he is, that's probably really tough to see.
It's weird. It's weird because you see him like stand up and you're like, all right, similar to RJ. And then he's going down low to the ground. You know what I mean? It's definitely just a different look, and the speed change was a big like adjustment. I think that's why it took forever.
Yeah,
I mean, he shut us out. So
it's not the RJ to Bonham height contrast that we had before on the Magic with the 1-2 punch and the pitching staff, but he did look good. I was impressed for sure. I mean, quick aside though. So Johnny had the whole like jump throws going on and all that stuff. Where do we need to crack down on rules? Jack, Ty,
I don't know.
Caden, like
okay, yeah.
I'm no. This is not a shot at Johnny. This
He's
is more so
fun
like
out there.
Yeah, because I don't want to be the boomer of the group. Like, oh, this isn't how the game should be played. But I don't know. Like he was getting really creative, which is great. But I don't want it to turn into a situation where we have like no rules around pitching, and then people find a loophole to abuse it. Almost, if that makes sense. I feel like we need to at least have guys coming set on the mound, because if not, then they could like use momentum behind the rubber and come forward, or I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't see. Like, I don't remember.
Well, I guess
exactly what he was doing,
my question is, what are are there any rules?
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
I was thinking the same thing as you. Is like, what's stopping Ryan from like taking a running start from behind the rubber and just like jumping off the rubber, and then he's ending up like 20 feet from the mound and throwing
again. Yeah, anything not outlined like explicitly in the MLW rulebook just defaults to MLB. So like a pitcher should have, maybe we should start enforcing this more, but a pitcher should have to come set while in contact with the rubber prior to starting his motion. Yeah. So maybe we need to start enforcing that and preventing the balks, because I don't know that Johnny
they have to be set,
which means like coming to a pause when you're on the rubber. Yeah. Right. So like you get on the mound. Okay. You take a count, like a count of one. Just a deep breath, pause, and then do your wind up, do your jump throw or whatever. But I think we need to at least, maybe like eliminating a jump throw would make the game more boring. I think the jump throws are pretty cool, but I think we need to make sure at least guys are coming set on the mound before anything crazy happens.
I will say I did see a couple comments on the YouTube video about that. Yeah. Okay. About how people are not too happy with that and how there should be some more rules.
Interesting.
I think it makes it fun and entertaining to watch for sure. But there is a point where you gotta come set how Tommy was saying, and definitely get more rules about that.
I think maybe next year we got to take a look at that and see if there's, again, no one's really exploiting it right now, and I don't think anybody will, because we have pride and dignity in this league. We like to play the game relatively the right way.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to crack down on that so that's not an issue in the future.
So this is not a fully thought out idea, but first of all, I do like people. If the rules are not obvious and there's an advantage to be created, I do think Ryan being able to mix up, like being able to like jump and throw a pitch like somewhere near the strike zone or in the zone, it just switches up where the ball is coming from. So like there is an advantage there, right? You're just being more multiple. But I would say like, where was my train of thought going? This is baby brain right here.
Baby brain. This is Jack going deep into his baseball knowledge.
This is baby brain.
This is as deep as
all right. Here we go. I got it. So not a fully thought out idea, but is there some way that there can be an equivalent to the advantage that's created as a pitcher, like in reverse, like as a batter? Like, are we somehow able to loophole the rules here where I'm jumping maybe towards the pitcher and swinging, or it doesn't seem like physics is going to make that an advantage for the batter.
Nah,
but I'm trying to be ahead of the game here. I'm trying to be ahead of the curve. Like, is there some way we can answer this?
Jack, I think if you start jumping and swinging, I think you're going to just hurt yourself more.
You should try it out though, Jack. I think
I want to. I was throwing the idea around at the last series with Ryan.
Don't listen to him. Like he's sabotaging you.
There's no way that you're ever going to hit a ball like that.
Exactly.
It's already hard enough.
I mean, think about it. Like, you might catch the pitcher off guard. Like, he's not expecting you to, like, depending on the pitch he throws, I don't know.
True.
All right, think about it. If it's like drop ball in the dirt, right? That ball, if you jump forward, that ball is like right in the sweet spot. Like, you're meeting it halfway there before it's hitting the dirt.
But then you're in the air when it's in the sweet
spot. You are in the air.
Jack, why don't you try it and let's see how it goes. How about you? You be the guinea pig here.
All right. Yeah.
We'll get a video of you doing
lab results. Need the lab results.
Need the lab results.
Okay.
Caden, back to you. Talk about rulebook. Rulebook is off-season talk. That's an off-season pod. But someone mentioned fireworks in a previous question. Maybe it was you, one of your responses. But the fireworks of the series were pretty cool. I wasn't there, so I don't know if that was something that was pre-planned, or was there another event going on by coincidence and Kyle and all of you guys had no idea that was coming, or what was the situation there with the fireworks?
Okay, so we had no idea that they were going to happen.
That's cool.
At least to my knowledge. Kyle seems surprised too, so I'm assuming no. But there's a minor league stadium like behind, like the other side of the hotel that you can see in the background, back where the like fireworks were, like behind home plate. So I assume that there was a minor league game because there were a ton of people there like walking towards it. It was like single A or something. I don't remember exactly. And they might have had like a firework night maybe or something afterwards, would be my guess. I'm not 100% sure though. There were a lot of fireworks though. Like it went on for like 10 minutes.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it was sweet.
That is cool. That was very, Very Sandlot-esque. That's pretty rare. You have the opportunity to live that fantasy out, but it was pretty sweet.
I'm glad I wasn't pitching. It would have distracted me.
Okay, so you were happy it wasn't you. I think Drew, though, was probably the perfect guy to have out there during all that. He would feed off that kind of thing, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how many. I feel like he did fine. When it was happening.
Did better than
a
few other.
Better than he has, you know what I mean? Like, it was an improvement.
It was improvement.
Well, yeah.
We'll give him that.
Yeah.
First of all, I guess I'll say this right now because I didn't really appreciate the Magic slander from Drew in the post game interview. I felt like that was unnecessary.
Shots fired.
I don't remember what he said.
He was just Drew being Drew.
Okay.
But anyway, so the details that I got from the interim manager who I named AJ Ackerman was the interim manager. Who's since been fired, obviously, with the series loss. So,
well, I have more intel, Jack, on that as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, is it about how he got there?
It has to be.
Yeah, that's a good. We can talk about that
fired before the series started, I think.
Dude, that was awesome. I was so jealous. I was so jealous.
Yeah, I'm like, how did you miss your flight? Like. And he slept through his alarm, and I think the text message he gave me was, like, for the low price of $75, I got 2 more hours of sleep because he was able to, like, switch his flight or something like that. But anyway, AJ was fired as manager, but his details were just like he gave the description of what happened in Game 1 and Game 2, and then Game 3, all he said was Drew pitched, so we won. And that was his only.
Oh, shots fired right back at you, Drew. I like it.
So that's I got to give it back, Drew.
Respect.
That's fair. I mean, he honestly was 6 runs wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's improvement.
It's improvement for sure.
All right, I have a little bit of a less serious question for you, Caden. During the game, to Andy, you said, if I'm cute, you're gorgeous. So, Caden, which 3 guys in the league would you let date your daughter?
Oh, man. That's not a big list. That's all I have to say.
Not a big list. Wow, Caden. Real nice thing to say about your counterparts.
I feel like we got some good guys.
We have some great guys. I agree.
There's lots of them, for sure.
It's just a lot of goofballs is the
problem.
A lot
of goofballs.
That is true.
I mean, not a bad thing.
Maybe not
a bad thing.
Maybe like if they were to mature another 5 years.
I mean, RJ's probably up there. He's a good citizen.
Pick. Mm-hmm. It's a really good pick.
He's tall, too. You gotta have tall grandkids.
Got good genes. There you go. Yeah, you're thinking like
good genes.
Yeah.
Good genes.
Man, Chris Cheatham. I mean, he's got to be up there too. So those 2.
Who's bringing us home?
I don't know. This is tough. I'm trying to think of guys that are like not married either, because that'd be kind of weird.
Fair.
Like Jack. Like you're already a dad. Like I can't do that. You know.
Thank you. I appreciate you leaving me out
Fair.
of this conversation.
Jack has withdrawn his name from consideration after further thought.
Yeah. It takes out Grant. Barron's a ex-player.
Yep.
I mean, you're right. There are a lot of people. It's tough to narrow it down to 3. Now I'm thinking about it. There are some that like obvious.
You gave us 2. That's okay. Shout out to Cheatham.
I mean, Tom, you're in that conversation, by the way.
Hey, I appreciate that. But for the grandkids,
I'm bouncing your name around.
But for the grandkids, might not be.
The height's going to be an issue.
It's going to be an issue.
Yeah, Caden. I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up. I already kind of talked about the height, but yeah, that was factoring in towards the no.
Okay, now at least that's fair. You have a reason to say not putting you on that list. My feelings are not hurt. My poor future son's not going to make varsity. Okay, Caden, good series dub, first of the year.
Yep.
All right, first series dub.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it was.
So puts you at 4-8, moving into slate 5, bottom of the standings. But the standings are tight, so technically your playoff hopes are not totally gone with how the league is structured now, with all 8 being in one group. So with that, you play the Eagles in slate 5. Tall task. You're probably going to need to win at least 2 games there to make the playoffs, I would say. Don't know for sure yet because it's still early in slate 4, but I'd say you're probably going to need to win at least 2, if not 3 games. How do you do it? How do you beat that offense? You're going to be the guy pitching. How do you attack hitters like Dallas, Dan, Landon? I mean, that's the toughest lineup in the league right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch some film. I've been doing that more like since I've like had a bigger role pitching because I need to like not give up a ton of runs and embarrass myself. So I feel like just try to hit their weak points, throw strikes, but not right down the middle. Try to get them to chase every once in a while. That's been a big thing that I added the last year or two is getting ahead and then being able to throw stuff that's not strikes that look like they could be. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be hard to keep them to 0, so we're gonna have to score a couple for sure. But yeah, you never know. Our goal before the series against the Magic was if we wanted to make the playoffs, we'd had to get to like 6 wins to have a chance.
Okay.
We figured that would be winning both series. It'd be nice to get to 7 if we sweep one of the 2. Because I think that if we get to 7, I feel like we could have a good chance.
I would say 7 wins could do it for sure. I mean, I think even with 6, you'd have a shot. Yeah. Depends on how everyone else does.
The problem with 6 for us is the head-to-head if we tied with somebody.
True.
Because most of the teams that are probably going to be around that range are teams that we've lost to.
Well, the Magic could be in that range. The Magic could be in that range.
It's true. So we'll see. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we can steal 2. 3 would be great, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So,
okay. I will say, as the manager of the Metro Magic, I'm not thrilled with the fact that my team has kept you guys alive, but as an MLW fan, it's very exciting after the season that's transpired so far for the Cobras that you guys actually do have a chance to get in here in your final series. And if we're being honest, a Cobras team with nothing to lose is not necessarily a team I want to face.
Never.
Like, I feel like the Cobras have done probably worse when there's more expectations of them, and when they're kind of like written off, I feel like that's when the Cobras have stepped up. So anything can happen, man. Anything can happen in MLW. So it's exciting that last series isn't just like a throwaway series and that it means a lot.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. And we just seem to play in front of live crowds all the time. It's like our thing.
Yeah, like Kyle said, the Cobras are a live crowd team. It just seems to shake out that way always. But best of luck to you, Caden. I know you got a dinner to get to with, was it with your parents?
My parents, yeah. We just got back from Charlotte, bachelorette, combined trip.
Nice.
Earlier today. So yeah, we have no food in our house. So the text was huge. I was like, yeah, I'll take a free meal 100 times out of 100. So
I never turned down a free lunch.
Can't do that.
Caden, well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. And good luck against the Eagles in Slate 5, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again to Caden Irwin for joining us. Great series. I enjoyed watching this one. The fireworks were very cool. You guys can share your thoughts. First thing I want to say is shout out to the guy who started the wave. He had the Tommy Coughlin jersey t-shirt on, which is few and far between these days, especially because those are new pieces of merchandise. That wasn't bought 2 or 3 years ago. That's a current purchase. So shout out to that guy. Started what was coined, I think, the best wave in the history of MLW crowds. So I appreciate your support there. But Jack, what were your takeaways? Watching from afar, sounds like you fired your interim manager, but what else you got for us on your squad?
Yep, AJ's gone. So that's that. But
moving on.
Yeah, I mean, as the Magic manager, obviously tough to watch a series loss, especially when I wasn't there. I will say that watching this video definitely had some like post-series FOMO just that crowd just looked like electric. And also, just the way how close the games were, the first 2 games. I feel like with the success that I've been for some reason having this year, I felt like I maybe could have contributed there. So it was a bummer to miss it, but ultimately I thought it was a really good opportunity for guys like Johnny, guys like Jordan to get some playing time. Like we talked about, I thought Johnny looked really good. And hats off to the Cobras, hats off to Caden and the rest of the Cobras. Like they went out there, their backs were against the wall. They got the series win that they needed. So, that's no easy feat. So, congrats to them. It was a really fun video to watch. And a great series overall. I think now for the Magic, it's just we got to do our job in our last series and make sure that we get that spot in the playoffs.
Not gonna let that happen, Jack. We're taking you down. Taking you down in Slate 5, buddy. What do you think of this one, Ty? I know you don't know any of these guys super well, like some of the other younger guys in this league, but what are your thoughts on these two squads after this series?
Well, I know it's definitely tough to have that much of a chunk, gone out of your lineup, but I wouldn't be too sad about the series if I were you guys, especially, moving, towards Slate 5. I think you guys would definitely bounce back having, all the guys there, and I'm excited to watch that. But the series was definitely really entertaining. The crowd was awesome. Yeah, super good video overall to watch, I'd say.
Jack, we know we make jokes, right? I have not had a great season up to this point. Still a lot of with Wally played, but up to this point haven't been great. Jack, you dogged on yourself prior to the season starting, but I mean they were missing that powerful bat of Jack Agner. I must say it. I think having you and Grant probably won't be out there, but missing yourself as well as Brady, big losses huge offensively loss. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I think in 3 out of state series I have, out of, not at the Meadows, in person, I think I have 3 home runs in 3 series. So if you're just looking at the stats, I do think that it hurt not having me there. Also hurt, obviously, not having our all-star Brady.
Yes.
Just because he's been a stud all year. You like to think he probably puts one over in that series at some point. So, it is what it is. But that's kind of what MLW has turned into a little bit. I think that it's unrealistic nowadays to think you're always going to have your full lineup for every regular season game. You've got to be able to have some guys that you can call on that'll come in there produce. Like I said. I thought Jordan, for his first series, came in there. He got a few hits, knocked the ball around a little bit. Johnny, like, much more improved on the mound. We're still trying to find that, like, second arm. So I think it was, like, great experience for him. So, I think I agree with you, Ty. I'm not, like, sitting here, really distraught about the series loss or anything. I do think we'll bounce back, too. I was more so honestly just happy for like Caden and the Cobras because I thought it was a really cool event and like a well-earned series dub.
Right.
But and I also do think I kind of like dogged on Drew for the post-game interview in the hotel room. That was actually like I loved that. That they were just so beat that they weren't going to do it at the field and ended up doing it later at the hotel room to get that meet and greet in. You could just tell how zapped everyone was. Like that just seemed like such a long day for everybody involved. Johnny was like laying down after the game 3, after game 3 ended. So, all around like great production, great video to watch. Looking forward to this last series with the Magic.
Yeah.
I know. Everyone was exhausted after that, and Kyle was talking about how late it was getting and highlighting the crowd that was still there. And then after that series was still the meet and greet and then the post-game interviews in the hotel room. I got to say, I kind of liked the post-game in the hotel room. I thought it opened up like a funny idea in my head to where these out-of-state series where there's a sense of urgency for cleanup and the fan meet and greet happening in a relatively quick fashion. I think it's like we could probably, an idea that I had in my head was just like having those post-game interviews for out-of-state series sort of just in obscure areas, whether it was outside the stadium or sitting at a bar and grill after the game, like eating the food, or in a hotel room or an airport terminal waiting for a flight. I thought it would just be a funny way to add flavor to some of these out-of-state events while still saving time, because the reality is, like you saw, is sometimes there is no time to get that 2 minutes of footage, which might take 5, including setting up the shot and getting the people involved and then moving everybody else elsewhere. So, I don't know. That was a funny idea that I had.
That'd be super cool. The out-of-state series, those days are just so long. Lots of things go into those. But yeah, no, the hotel room, that'd be super cool. And it was cool how they did that. But yeah. Oh yeah.
We kind of do it in like an indirect way by having like guests on the podcast, but it would be so cool to somehow incorporate like post-game press conferences. You know, like, because you always rarely ever, other than maybe the winning team, do you get like a right on field. They usually post-game interview like one person. You know, like if it's football, it's like they just interview the quarterback pretty much, like unless he had a terrible game. But then after that, it's like you get the press conference from like the coach and the rest of the players. So, and that's when it's not just half the time the reaction on the field is just like they're like speechless, especially if it was like a really close game, because there's just so much adrenaline going through them still. You know what I mean? They don't even have much to like formulate. But the press conference, it's like they get a little bit of time to think and like collect their thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons why I think the podcast exists, is to hear from the folks that played in the series. Obviously, we try to get one of the more like a notable player from that series. Like Caden, for example, in this one, pitched fantastic. Cobras' first series win. Made a lot of sense to have Caden on, but sometimes it's a guy who got traded and played great. Sometimes it's a rookie who we haven't heard from a lot, and then he had a standout day. And sometimes like those guys we want to get aren't always available for an interview, so just making do with what we can find. But I wonder if, like in a perfect world where time and resources weren't an issue, if we were to upload like actual manager, maybe it's 5-10 minute press conference per guy. I wonder if those would actually get watched by a lot of people, or if people just wouldn't care. I'd be curious to know.
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out.
Try it. That'd be cool. I feel like people,
so many ideas.
Definitely like the super fans who like are really into it would probably love that stuff. Like getting a really in-depth opinion and stuff about after the game. Because those post-game interviews, right after the game, everybody's just so gassed. They kind of want to leave. But getting time in between to just gather yourself and then really go in depth about it, I think that'd be pretty cool.
We should just have like a giant Zoom conference live streamed like every week at a certain time period, and any fan who wants to join can just log in and just fire questions away.
Man, that would be
raise your hand and just select somebody.
That would be sweet.
We do it one time, man. And we all log in, and there's like 4 people in there. We're like, hey guys.
Well, I was gonna say, if we did that it would be the same, like call it whatever number of people
it would be
that
the same
joined
4
all the
people.
time.
Yep. They'd have so many questions.
Yeah.
But that's what happens though. Like you'll see that happen like in the NFL with the coaches, and it's some reporter that always asks them like dumb questions, and they're like, "No, I'm not. I'm not taking one from you."
Yeah, I think you miss that context a lot though as a fan, right? Because oftentimes you do see a coach or a player snap at a certain reporter. I think it is because you never see the person asking the question, and oftentimes you can't even hear the voice of the person asking the question when you see the clip. But I think they do lose their patience for people who are always asking questions that they don't want to answer week after week after week, potentially even year after year after year, and then they snap in a moment, and then that goes viral, makes the player look bad. But I think a lot of times it is the fault of the reporter,
Yeah, 100%.
It's an interesting thought. Other things I wanted to point out was I thought Andy Duran's mic'd up had a lot of funny moments. The whole Caden and his exchange about calling each other cute was funny. That's been a trend, I feel like, in this league. We had Trey Flood and Casey Bennett doing a similar thing last year. We just gas each other up around here. But he also, I don't know if you guys are big SpongeBob fans. He had like a flawless Flying Dutchman impression in there, quoting him about selling SpongeBob for 62 cents. PB, you should put in the clip, audio and video of Andy saying that line, and then put in the Flying Dutchman saying it. So it was pretty darn spot on. I'm a big SpongeBob guy, so I enjoyed that part.
The Cobras and I bonded over that SpongeBob episode where Mr. Krabs sold SpongeBob for 62 cents, and we've been saying it all day. How much money we talk? And the Flying Dutchman goes 62 cents. And Mr. Krabs sells it for 62 cents, that's unbelievable.
If you had to choose between SpongeBob and all the money I have in my pocket, which would you take?
That depends. How much money are we talking about?
Mr. Krabs, 62 cents. I'll take the money.
It's been a minute since I've watched SpongeBob for sure. I knew what he was talking about, but not enough to be like, man, he totally crushed that impression. I don't get the shout out Zimbabwe. Is that like a young person trend that I'm not getting? Because I thought it was funny.
Just so random.
Is that like the most random thing ever?
It must have been just a random thing. I mean, he was just kind of saying things on the mic, which happens.
I mean, Jack, have you been?
I thought it was one of those things where it's like, do you remember when it was like, how many times have you thought about the Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Or do you remember when that trend was going around? I thought it was like something like that, where the kids were like, that it's just like this random like shout out Zimbabwe, like everybody knows about it, but except the old people. Like, I don't know, but apparently not.
As a young person myself here, I'd like to say that the Zimbabwe thing is not a trend. What I have seen, I think that was a random thing he was saying about.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've played outfield at some of these out-of-state series over the last 3-4 years, and I'm always just asked and told the most obscure things and random things by the younger generation. That's just kids being kids. It could be like an inside joke in their friend group or something, but I'm always asked like about favorite foods or like opinions on YouTubers or like gaming streamers that I've never heard of, or like ask who my favorite player is on a certain pro team that I might not even watch or know who is. So again, I always feel like I do feel old when I'm out there and it's 11-year-old like asking me questions about things that I don't know, or they'll like say it like a slang or a catchphrase, and then them and another friend group will laugh and I'll like totally not get it, and I'm like, okay, great. Like I'm just getting old out here.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, it's always
okay.
It's always
I got another one. I got another one for Ty then, as the resident young person on the podcast. That a bunch of the kids that, okay, first of all, I heard a kid say it in an MLW video, one of the in-person ones. Just saying 6'7".
That's what you're
yeah,
say.
I didn't know what that was either.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Are you just saying that, or are you being honest?
No, I really do not know what the 6'7" means or where it came from.
I don't know either. But Kyle knows, because wasn't Kyle the one who said it?
I don't know. It's like just words. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just it's like, if you guys know what brain rot is.
So you do know what this is.
It's like, I don't know what it is. I know what, like, it's just like random words.
Should I go ask him upstairs?
6'7". I feel like Kyle doesn't actually know what it means. He just knows about the 6'7", you know?
Okay, so Ty, what Ty just said, this is what I don't understand.
Okay.
Is like what Ty just said is actually, so I had a bunch of kids. First of all, kids said it in the MLW thing. I was like, okay, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Then a bunch of kids that like I'm coach, like high schoolers that I'm coaching lacrosse for, keep saying it, and I'm like, what is this? Like I'm asking them what it is, and they can't even like explain it back to me.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like a, you know, there used to be like funny viral like video.
Guys, I just came off
vines.
a nap. Tommy summoned me.
Oh, looks like we got Kyle to explain 6'7" for us.
Okay, here we go.
You got a question for me?
I need an explanation on where the phrase 6'7" comes from, and like what it means and why it's being said all the time.
Jack, are you on TikTok?
No.
Well, then that pretty much explains everything. It's pretty much like edit culture. Ty, is it a Pop Smoke song or something else?
I have no idea. There's
a rapper,
random song. It's
a
called
rap. I don't.
Dude.
Okay, that's what it is.
I don't know who it's by.
Basically, it's just like a beat drop and a rap song, and there's like a LaMelo Ball edit made out of it, and then it just kind of stemmed from there.
Was that where it came from?
I think so. It's just a bunch of edits.
6'7". Got it.
Because like somebody was talking about his height, like LaMelo Ball was like, I think I'm like 6'6" or 6'7", and then like that song was popping off at the same time, I think. So then it was just made for an edit, and then of course like,
got it.
Kids began making their own things out of it. All right, there's your context.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Kyle. So what I was saying before about the explanation that I was getting from the kids that I was coaching, none of them could tell me that. Like none of them said that. It was just like, it's just kind of like, you know, 6'7", and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, you're not explaining it.
It's like not something you can get. It's just like 6'7". I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, whatever. I guess it's just, I'm not a part of it.
I guess it's funny, but I don't know why it's funny.
It's just kids being kids. I'm sure we thought stupid stuff was funny when we were young also. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of a comparison off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure there was one when
Must
I
have
was
been.
also 11 years old.
Well, what I was saying is like there used to be funny videos. Like, do you remember like the Charlie bit my finger
Of course.
video? Like,
ouch, Charlie. That really hurt.
Man, that was good.
And
that
was just like that was just objectively funny. Like people would walk around quoting that video because it was funny. And now it's like I feel like the kids are walking around quoting stuff that means absolutely nothing. Like it's not even. I don't even get it. Like it doesn't even. It's not funny, and it's just like a joke. But it's like they can't even explain where it comes from.
Jack, this is why we have Ty, because I think the things that we find funny, they don't find funny. They don't think Charlie bit my finger is funny.
That's true.
I don't think.
No,
that's
funny.
true.
That's
true.
Well, Ty, you're not as young as them, also. Though.
I am not 11. That is.
You're not 11.
That is true. I'm not. But
we could go on for hours on that.
definitely could.
All right. Well, overall, I'm excited the Cobras have a shot. Like I told Caden, Magic. I still think the Cobras will miss. You know, the Eagles are a great team. Eagles are not going to sandbag a series as they're fighting for one of the byes in the postseason. So, I do think the Cobras will miss. I think the Magic are a bubble team for sure, but Magic have a tough task in the Mallards also. So these two teams have not easy matchups, and we'll see what they can scrap together in Slate 5. Comment of the week. Real quick, sounds like there were some comments about the whole pitching thing. I actually didn't see those, Ty. But the one I pulled up, because I think the theme of this podcast here is age, but someone commented that Walgate looks like he's aged 3 years every time he shows up. And I do find it kind of true in a sense that it's just crazy that this is his third season. And like I want to keep thinking of RJ as this 6'5", 14-year-old, like when I made that TikTok of him that went viral a couple years ago. And now he's a 6'7", 16 or 17-year-old, 16-year-old. So it's just wild how fast time moves. What? Oh.
6'7".
That was totally on accident. That was totally on accident. I swear that was on accident.
He knows about it, and he's just like he's hiding it.
I swear that was on accident.
I don't know.
That was expert.
We'll pretend I'm that smart and that good of a podcaster, but that was totally on accident.
There you go. Wow.
But if I would have calculated that, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be doing something way, way more important in this world, Jack. I promise you.
I mean, yeah, you kept it together. No, not even a smile when you said 6'7".
Wasn't on purpose.
I mean, it definitely was, but
it was not.
Anyways, I agree with the comment of the week. Every time I see RJ at mid, and every year he always looks older, and at the Meadows he does. Like he's always getting taller. He's always aging. It is crazy. He's been here for 3 years, but yeah. I do agree with that comment. He does look older every time I see him as well.
He's at that age, man.
Yeah.
Mature quick.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, go look at the videos of that's what's so great about MLW is just all online and you can go watch all the videos, but go back to when like Tommy and I were like his age and just watch those back. Like watch those 3 seasons and how much we changed. Like I went from like a little high school boy to being like a full, after like 2 full seasons of like weightlifting in college, playing like Division I athletics, I looked like completely different. Yeah. Completely different. Mm-hmm. Full beard. Like I looked like I probably look younger now than even I did sometimes then.
That might be
I had
true.
Grizzly Adams beard.
Yeah. Grizzly Adams beard. I wish I could grow that beard, Jack. Okay. Update on the standings, Jack, for the 9 Dogs 9 Innings Challenge. Ty, you been following along? Are you a pod listener?
I am a pod listener.
Probably following along here. So this was big for me, Jack. So I made a silly bet on the Cobras again.
This one stung.
They actually delivered. So I have a 27-23 lead here in the challenge. I actually don't know what the next upload is going to be on the channel. So I don't know how that will fare for our bet. We'll have to update you guys next week, but I don't know if Kyle has decided what's coming out this Friday. We will have to see because things got shuffled around. This series got pulled forward. So this is when we get the time travel pod is kind of always happening where we're talking about series that were played weeks ago and then talking about them after the upload. So it gets a little hairy here. So we'll update you guys.
I feel like it could be Wildcats Mallards.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, probably because that was played right after the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will be Cats Mallards. That one I have 2-1 Mallards. I think you do too, Jack.
I also have 2-1 Mallards.
But it's not your super pick, I don't think.
Nope, my super pick was the Eagles.
That's right.
Against the Preds.
That's right. Okay, so both 2-1 Mallards here.
Yep.
And then I think I picked the under on walks, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. We'll update you for sure
Nope,
next week.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep, I'm looking at the doc from
beautiful.
last week. I got the under on the walks.
Came prepared. You have the under on the walks. Okay. So Jack's got the tiebreaker
Yep.
on that one, assuming it's the next upload. Last things last here. Wrapping up the podcast, sticking with the theme of age. Ty is here, and it's just making me feel very old, truthfully, Jack, as I was going through the agenda here and looking at all the age-based topics we're talking about. And for reference, the reason we have Ty is because he is that guy, in a sense that you're really involved with the younger audience, like we said in the intro, all that stuff. But also, you have just a different perspective than Jack and I do. So you have relationships that we don't have, and then you have a different perspective because Jack and I were born in 98 and 99, whereas you are born in
08.
So a 10-year gap here.
Man.
So what I want to know, Ty, is I feel old. We see these fans who are 12 and 13, then I feel really old. But your generation, I don't know how closely we view like pop culture, for example. Like I'm sure there's people that you follow online, whether it's like for like social media stars or YouTubers or gamers or even like music you listen to that's way different than what Jack and I listen to. I don't really like try to very hard anymore to keep up with what people in high school are listening to.
Yeah.
But obviously I know what I listen to. So I'm just curious as to like if you're familiar with these people. Because like
I definitely am.
I told Ty, I said, think about like who your top 3 like favorite music artists are.
Yeah.
And report to us. Because I was going to tell him like the people when I was 17, your age.
Yep.
The people that I was listening to a lot in high school at the time, I wasn't a huge fan of music, but I was fan of just like who was popular, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was a big Post Malone guy.
Okay.
I like Drake. And then J. Cole was also super popular at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when Post Malone's first big songs were coming out, you were like 7. So like how big of a Post Malone fan actually are you?
I will say Post Malone, I'm not a fan.
See, there you go. Jack, do you like Post Malone?
Yeah, I like Post Malone.
What about Drake's still very, very
Drake's
popular.
definitely relevant.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say
Drake is definitely
So
relevant.
people in high school are not listening to Post Malone, correct?
I mean, they might be.
But what are, come on, like what are
I
your
would
friends
say
listening
Post
to?
Malone, I would say is not as popular. Drake definitely is. Personally, I'm not like much into rap, so I'm not like
because rap's not what it used to be.
It's definitely not.
Are you into country?
Like,
no,
country.
you're not. What are you into?
I love music, and I can talk about music for hours and
that's
hours.
a perfect question, then. I didn't know that.
But I love basically any subgenre of rock. I love like indie rock, alt rock, progressive rock, stuff like that.
But now is this rock that's coming out today, or is this old rock?
Old.
So you like old music?
I do like old music, yeah.
And is that pretty popular in your grade
with
right now?
The guys that like I hang out with closely, it is like we have poker nights all the time, you know, and we listen to like older rock is usually what's on the queue. But I don't know. It depends.
But you gotta quantify
songs
that.
Okay.
Like, what is old
we'll go
rock?
some groups. Right now, because we're talking about as of today, my like favorite artists. I'm gonna go Pink Floyd, which I know is super basic, but I love Pink Floyd. All their just really good discography, and then love the Smashing Pumpkins. I love Radiohead. Love the Eagles. Really love the Eagles. Just a lot of stuff like that. I also do have a vinyl collection, so
that's
cool. I like collecting vinyls. Yep, have a good turntable in my room.
Jack, who were you listening to in high school? Just out of curiosity.
We got an old head.
We do have an old head.
We went for the young guy. We got an old head.
Not the guy we thought you were.
I would have said top three like bands I was listening to when I was 17 would have been probably Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, and probably like Metallica, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. But Jack, so let's circle back. So Jack, when we were in high school, who do you think was the most popular? Because I tried to kind of drop names that I think probably were like the most commonly listened to, or am I in the wrong there?
No, I think you were right. I think you were definitely right. Drake was certainly popular.
Yes.
I think like, you know, it's just the guys that like it's tough for me to remember exactly who came
rap
and
was
went.
very.
I think of
rap was like the popular thing when we were in high school, and now I feel like it's country. Is that true, or am I wrong?
I feel like not country. I don't know.
Country.
Rap is still really popular amongst high schoolers.
Okay,
but let's see what rap is. Drake and J. Cole, I do agree with. It's still popular today.
Really? Okay.
There's other rappers like Lil Uzi Vert, if you guys know who that is.
Yeah, that was when we were in high school too.
And like Cardi.
Yeah.
There's like that kind of style of rap.
So
I'm not into
changed
that
too
kind
much.
of rap. Yeah.
It hasn't changed too much. I was never either. And even the names that I listed, like I do like Post Malone, but I don't listen to that much Drake anymore. And I never was that big into J. Cole. No. I really didn't get into music till like the following year.
Yeah.
But I was, so it seems like rap still is pretty popular.
I'd say like the big three would be Drake, Kendrick, and Cole probably still.
Okay, so that hasn't really changed that much then. All right, well maybe I'm not as old as I thought.
That's pretty much the
same. But you're also an old head, so who knows if his opinion is true? He might not even know.
I might not, guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's just proof though of how timeless those artists are. Like making something that's truly timeless is so difficult, and that's just proof that, again, like Pink Floyd. When we were in high school, plenty of my friends listened to Pink Floyd, and that's been a thing for
like nobody does that stuff
decades
anymore,
and
man.
decades and decades. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but all right, Ty, you're an old head. Are you an old head in all things or just music?
Mostly just music.
Okay,
I'd say
we'll do a different topic next week. Maybe movies next week.
I'm also really into movies.
Old movies or new movies or both?
All.
Okay, well, movies we'll talk about then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned for our endeavors on how old are Jack and me and how old we feel. Maybe Ty will actually not be as bad as we thought in terms of making us feel super old.
Probably won't be.
But appreciate you jumping on, Ty. It's cool to have you around. Hopefully we have you around more.
Definitely.
Next week, it sounds like you guys might be seeing Cats versus Mallards.
I hope so.
Don't take that as gospel, but it'll probably be that video. And we will be here to break it down for you, or whatever video is coming out on Friday next week. So thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you in the next one.
Pipe it up.